On today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, we'll talk about topics like, are Girl Scout cookies toxic? We'll talk about the Super Bowl and its controversial halftime performance from Kendrick Lamar. We'll talk about the Gulf of America Day happening on February 9th every year now. We'll talk about The View and their controversial statements regarding Donald Trump, a pedophile teacher in Ohio, and then we'll end the day talking about the potential death of somebody on death row by firing squad. All that and much more coming up on America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, starting now.
The moment is here. This is our moment.
America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. This is episode 21. I talked to you guys about my topics already. I'm going to dive right on into them. First, I want to talk about Bryan Kohberger and his potential to die by firing squad if he's given the death penalty. So, a former criminology student at Washington State University, he's charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of felony burglary in connection with the 2022 stabbings and deaths of University Idaho students Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves. So, if he, in the state of Idaho in 2023, they made firing squad the backup form of execution, and recently they have pushed for a bill to make it the primary form of execution for people given the death penalty in their state. They talk about this because they think it would not only save the taxpayers money, but they think it would also be a quicker form of death for the individual. When you do death by firing squad, what it is you're pretty much put in this bulletproof room. All the walls are bulletproof. There's a little slit of glass, and about 5, I don't know if they're Marines, I don't know if they're police officers or what they are, but I do know they have preloaded rifles. They stand there with the barrel of their gun sticking through the little slit, and they all release and fire right into the person's heart at the same time. So this is like you would imagine, a fairly quick death, pretty instant. I don't think you would feel any pain because I think the brain response time would be slower than what it would take for the bullet to actually kill you. So I do think it would be, definitely a scary death, but a very quick and painless death, and a lot more effective as well. I do think this is something that Idaho is right to bring back. I think each state has the right to decide how they want to handle things like this. And if Idaho decides that firing squad is the most effective method for their state, then that is their right. I do think Bryan Kohberger, if he's found guilty of this, should be given death by firing squad. This is currently controversial in the United States. The idea of dying by firing squad, a lot of people think it's almost prehistoric thing, that it's an inhumane thing. But, the idea of soaking a sponge and electrocuting somebody to death, or a lethal injection that's going to give them a heart attack, doesn't seem... I don't know. We're talking about murderers here. How humane do we really need to be when we kill them? And plus the idea of, like I said, firing squad, he's not going to feel the pain, versus a lethal injection, you die by a heart attack. So I think you do feel the pain there. I want to move on to our next topic. I want to talk about something that actually caught me off guard when I heard it, so I did some research on it. But Girl Scout cookies potentially are now toxic. Recent findings by GMOscience.org and other consumer advocacy groups have revealed that Girl Scout cookies contained glyphosate, a controversial herbicide, and also a lot of toxic metals. So the health implications of this is that they're linked to cancers and different developmental disorders in children. So as more information comes out on this, I want to keep you guys updated. There's not a whole lot of information besides just these initial tests and studies. And then there was a statement by Girl Scout, the brand, saying that their cookies are safe to consume. Of course, they're going to say that, so we're not just going to take their word as it is. But as more information comes out on this, I definitely want to keep you guys updated. I know I love a good box of Thin Mints. I love Samoas. So as more information comes out, I want to keep you guys updated the same way I would want to be updated on this. We'll talk about one of my favorite topics now. As I talked to you guys about on Friday, the Philadelphia Eagles played the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl on Sunday, and The Philadelphia Eagles are now world champions, Super Bowl champions, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. This was an absolutely dominating performance by Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP, 17 of 22, 221 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, along with a rushing touchdown. So the Eagles put on an extremely dominating performance in a game that most people were calling for the Chiefs weeks ago. I'm extremely excited to say and announce that the Eagles are world and Super Bowl champions. It's something that's dear to my heart. I've been an Eagles fan my entire life. I love the Philadelphia Eagles. I love the NFL. And I do love that when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, it was the first time ever in history that a president had attended the Super Bowl. Donald Trump attended the Super Bowl last night. He got a huge standing ovation, a few different ones. And it really warmed all of our hearts. It gave us that patriotic feeling that we've all been looking for, to see at the world's biggest sports game, the biggest person in the world right now, Donald Trump. It warmed my heart, and to see the Eagles win, it made it all the better. I really think just us all coming together, and something like sports that brings us together, it's just a truly American patriotic feeling that I just really want to keep moving towards. Our next topic, I want to show you guys a video actually. This is a video from The View. Where they're talking about the halftime performance by Kendrick Lamar. And we'll talk about the halftime performance a little bit as well when we get back from looking at the video.
Yes.
What about you, Anna?
Okay, well, I don't do sports. I don't do football, so I wasn't watching the game. But listen, I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. Because you remember last week we were talking about...
This video right here is a perfect example of race baiting, fear-mongering, just pandering, lying, being delusional. You could describe it in 1,000 different ways. None of them are good. Ana Navarro is an extremely low IQ individual. That's why she's working for The View and not a real news network. She consistently will spew hate speech. She'll consistently try and make Americas more divided than they currently are. To say on a TV show, especially one as popular as The View, to say on a TV show that Donald Trump is going to ban black people from the halftime show by executive order is not only a stupid statement, it's obviously an untrue statement, but it's just, what are you trying to accomplish? I'm constantly questioning what liberals are trying to accomplish with the things they say and do when they're just speaking to the masses. Because she's not if she was having a conversation with someone directly, any person who has any common sense, they would immediately shut her down and say, "Shut up, you sound stupid." But since she's just speaking on a show, there's no one there to question her. It's just, you have things like this where you have someone like me questioning her, and you have people just thinking, why would you try and divide Americans more? Why would you try and put a statement out there that even implies that our president would do something that negative? Donald Trump has never once expressed any negative views towards black people. He has consistently tried to uplift the black community, even in the rap community. Kodak Black is famous for loving Donald Trump because Donald Trump pardoned Kodak Black, a famous Florida rapper. So I really don't understand the consistent fear-mongering and pandering by The View, by CNN, by liberals, and just the consistency to try and, they just keep trying to divide us for no reason. And it's something that makes me upset as an American, makes me upset as a conservative, and as someone with just a base amount of common sense. It's just so easy to see right past. And for the people in America who don't have that, they're going to hear this and think, oh, is that something he might actually do? Or if you're just a liberal who listens to everything, same thought. And it's just, I don't know, it's upsetting to me that there are people on TV who have such stupid opinions, and they say them with so much confidence. And more people should be giving her crap for her dumb statements. More people should be tweeting out at her, posting to her on Facebook, messaging her publicist, emailing her, whatever it is. But when people on these shows, newscasters, reporters, journalists, whatever you want to call her, I call her a low IQ TV host, but when people say these things on TV on their platforms and we don't hold them accountable, they're going to continue to do it. So I'm calling on us as Americans to hold these people accountable. I know I will personally be sending an email to their publicist and letting them know why I'm disappointed in the statement, but I urge all Americans to do the same. I really think that it's hurtful to America to continue to try and divide us like they are. And I want to talk about the halftime show as well. I personally was not the biggest fan of Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance. I know a lot of Americans weren't too thrilled with it either. A lot of people said it was either boring, he either didn't play his hit songs, and the vast majority of it was focused around one thing that I want to talk about. It was focused on Kendrick Lamar pointing out or calling Drake a pedophile. Drake is a famous rapper from Canada. He's one of the biggest and best-selling artists in the world. And Kendrick Lamar used his 20 minutes at the Super Bowl halftime show to talk about how he thinks that Drake is a pedophile. His top stream song, Not Like Us, is a diss track to Drake about that. And when that song was part of the performance, he kept hinting at it throughout his performance that he was going to play that song. He even made a comment during the performance talking about how Drake would sue him if he played the song because of the exposure. And then when it came time for the performance, that's when you could actually hear the audience singing along and everything. But I want to address the fact that, first of all, I think if Drake is a pedophile, I love the idea of Kendrick calling him out for it, especially as publicly as he did with 100 million people watching. But at the same time, why is it something that we're just talking about? Like, is Drake a pedophile? Kendrick wrote this song about him, and it's something that we constantly talk about. Why is there no investigation into this? Why is it something that we just talk about as if it's like this funny talking point and not something that we think about? Oh, did Drake have sex with a minor? Did Drake violate a child? Did Drake potentially ruin that child's mind? So, as crazy as the whole thing is, controversial or not, whatever you want to say, a lot of people are laughing about it and talking about how it's funny that he used his 20 minutes to do that. But in my mind, as right as I think it is to call out pedophiles, I don't think it's funny in the sense of, like I said, I want there to be an actual investigation. Like, if this is a real thing, at a point, let's stop joking about it and let's look into Drake. Is he having sex with minors, or is this just a rap beef? Whatever it is, I would like more answers, and I would like us to stop talking about it on social media in this laughing way that people have been recently. I get I can't control that, but like I said, I don't think if it is a real thing, it's a laughing matter at all, and I think it's something that's really terrible. And it also brings us to another similar talking point we have for today. I want to talk about an Ohio teacher. I'm actually going to pop his face up for you guys right here. So this worthless, I don't even know what you want to call him, but this terrible, terrible, worthless pedophile, Garrett Stringer Smith is his name. Let's make that famous. Garrett Stringer Smith, a worthless pedophile, a teacher at Twin Valley Community School in Ohio, was arrested in charges related to inappropriate conduct and touching with students. He will face these charges in court dates that are coming up soon, and it just leads to the overall bigger discussion of the vast amount of pedophiles we have in our schools right now. I really do think that there are so many great teachers in our schools, so many influential, positive teachers in our schools, and even if it's just 0.1% are, these bad apples, pedophiles, that needs to be immediately weeded out. It is terrible that even one child is ever touched by an adult. The fact that it's a consistent problem in our schools is something that, as Americans, we need to address. Parents are scared for their children. In America, in general, it's just a scary thought that there's so many of these messed up people in our schools, in our libraries, in places around children where they should not be. We need better vetting when it comes to our teachers. We need a lot more, there needs to be a lot more research into the minds of these pedophiles as well to see why they are the way they are. But this terrible waste of human life, Garrett Stringer Smith, like I said, touched multiple children at Twin Valley Community Schools in Ohio. I really hope this person gets the death penalty. In Florida, you do get the death penalty for that, and Florida is very, very ripe for that. Not all states are like that, but I do think that if you are a pedophile, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You should be dead. I really... It breaks my heart reading this story. They don't have a lot of specifics on it, so if there is more information, I'll always keep you guys updated, and as they set a court date and go through legal proceedings, I'll try and keep you guys updated with that as well. I do want to talk a little bit about our next topic. I want to get more into the Department of Government Efficiency, and I want to talk about a huge fine that they just talked about to the American people. So, the Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, has talked about how $59 million just last week was allocated by FEMA to illegal immigrants in 5-star hotels in New York City. So, $59 million just last week. So, after Donald Trump had already signed executive orders making that illegal, banning that, FEMA then violated Donald Trump's orders, sent $60 million for illegal immigrants to stay at 5-star hotels in New York City. So you go to North Carolina, it's still destroyed. You go to California, wildfires, still destroyed. You even go to Fort Myers Beach in Florida. There's still parts of it that are destroyed because FEMA refuses to make good on their promises, send good, and provide relief for the American people who have been in disasters. But illegal immigrants who broke the law coming into this country, which is a crime to enter this country illegally, were given not only thousands of dollars to spend at their free will by FEMA, but they were put up in 5-star hotels as well by FEMA at our expense. So $60 million at the taxpayer's expense did not help American people, did not help American citizens going through disasters, going through fires, going through hurricanes, or any of these natural disasters we've experienced over the last few years. What it did go to help was illegal migrants who broke our nation's laws and to help them evade Donald Trump deporting them. I am immediately calling for Donald Trump to disband FEMA and go through on his plan about funding through the federal government and not FEMA. FEMA has proved time and time again that they are corrupted and then they are not willing to put the American people first. This infuriates me that this is allowed to happen. That $60 million is allowed to be allocated to illegal immigration and helping illegal migrants stay in 5-star resorts, basically. 5-star hotels in New York City. Do you know how nice a 5-star hotel in New York City is? I urge any of my listeners in New York City to go to your nearest 5-star hotel and just walk around the lobby for a minute. Look at how nice it is. It's something that most of us in America just dream of, to stay there for a night. To be an illegal immigrant and just stay there as you're living, while there are Americans who are staying homeless, staying on couches of family members or in trailers because they lost their homes in hurricanes, fires, and storms, is disgusting. It is everything that's wrong with America, and it is why I think FEMA needs to be taken away immediately. I love that the Department of Government Efficiency found this. I love that Elon Musk is continuously putting the American people first, and I love that Donald Trump will act on this because Donald Trump respects the American taxpayer more than he respects bureaucrats and these corrupted establishments that have tried to strip money from the American people and push their own agendas. It is terrible what they have done to our tax money in this country, and I'm so glad that we finally have someone who is going to fix that. Our next topic is something way more exciting. We're going to talk about how February 9th is now the Gulf of America Day in the United States. Donald Trump signed an executive order yesterday officially saying that February 9th will be a day to celebrate around the United States where we will be able to recognize the Gulf of America and all of America's accomplishments. So this is something that year after year I'll have marked on my calendar. We'll be able to celebrate. I will go to the Gulf of America every year on that day because I live right here in beautiful Southwest Florida where that is possible. So, like I said, I'm very excited that Donald Trump, again, putting Americans first, when he sees that American taxpayer dollars are paying to fund and maintain the Gulf of, what was the Gulf of Mexico, he immediately said that doesn't make sense. If we're paying over 55% of the bill, we are going to be able to name it after our country. So, Gulf of America, it's a beautiful, beautiful body of water, and I am very, very glad that Donald Trump had the guts to take it back, take the name back for the American people. I want to pop this video up for you guys too. This is a very disgusting video of a liberal talking about what he wished happened to Donald Trump at the Super Bowl. I don't know this person's name, but if we ever find it, we're going to make it very famous.
You know what? After all that hype, nobody got his ass at the Super Bowl? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Where's the fucking team effort?
The second we're able to find this person's name, we will immediately be sending an email to the FBI to report this individual. This person should not only be put in jail, but should be investigated. Threatening to take the president's life, saying that you wish the president's life was taken at a major sporting event, is a despicable thing to say. It should be illegal to, or it is illegal to threaten violence against the president or say that you wish violence was happening against the president of the United States, which I think it should be illegal. I don't think anyone should be able to incite violence against Americans, especially not the president of the United States. I do think that's a very terrible thing. I'm very glad that this is something that is going to be addressed under Donald Trump. He has said that he will be addressing any and all things like this, where whether it's a person, a group, an organization, what it is, no matter what it is, he will be investigating and prosecuting individuals who are threatening the president's life, who are threatening our democracy, who are threatening our Constitution, breaking our laws. And I think saying that you wish the president was shot at the Super Bowl and saying where's the team effort on that, guys, I think that falls into that category. So as we get more information on this person, I'm going to keep you guys updated. I really hope this person does get prosecuted by the FBI for crimes. I really do, or for a conspiracy crime or for whatever it is. I really do think that posting a video like this not only shows your mental illness, but it shows your continuous delusion and the first thing that came to mind is sore loser, but it's way worse than that, because like a sore loser is someone who loses in a game and like maybe throws the ball at your back because they're upset with you. Someone who wishes that their political opponent is dead because their political candidate lost is just very much insane. This person needs therapy. They need to talk to their mother, their father, whoever it is. But this person has a lot of issues that definitely need to be checked. I want to talk to you guys about our last topic today, and this is a very insane one. I'm sure this will be a fluid one that updates as time goes on as well, so I'm going to make sure to keep you guys updated if I get more information on it. But I want to talk about Kanye for a second. I don't know if you guys saw Kanye's Super Bowl ad from last night. I'm going to play it for you guys, and then I'm going to play I'm going to talk about what Kanye has been doing over the last week and what Kanye did yesterday as well. But I'm going to play that Super Bowl ad for you guys real quick right now.
What's up, guys? I spent like all the money for the commercial on these new teeth. So once again, I had to shoot it on the iPhone. Go to easy.com.
Kanye has been a controversial figure in the media and in the news over the last few years specifically. To give you a little bit of backstory if you don't know who he is, Kanye was a music producer and rapper, an extremely famous one from Chicago. He became famous almost from nothing, very self-made man, and it's very hard to figure out where everything went wrong. There was a point where he was medicated for bipolar disorder. His kids were taken from him. But there was also controversy behind the person who medicated him. And then there was leaked texts from a famous trainer in Hollywood saying that he was going to kill Kanye if he didn't take his medicine. Like, there was a lot of weird things going on, and no one still knows what's fully happening there, but it is safe to say Kanye has gone completely off the rails, specifically regarding Jewish people in America and around the world. Kanye, over the last year specifically, has gone on a very anti-Jewish tirade on social media. I don't even know what you want to call it, but he has been saying that anything from Jews control the media, to the weather, to controlling him, to things he's saying, whatever it is, and he's taken a very hard stance against Judaism. I don't agree with Kanye's stance at all. I think it's despicable, the things he says. I do respect everyone's right to free speech, but I do think a lot of his speech is hate speech. But like I said, that's protected under the First Amendment. I respect that. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. But I do think Kanye has done some things that are just, I don't know, they're very hard to explain. That commercial was what he released during the Super Bowl. And then when you go to his website during the Super Bowl, he probably did this shortly before the Super Bowl, but he took every piece of merchandise off his website. Generally, he was selling Yeezy shoes, some clothing lines and stuff like that. He took every single item off and he put one item on, and it was a blank white t-shirt with a big black swastika just right on the center of it. So obviously it's a very disgusting thing to sell, to promote Nazis, to promote hate, to promote the swastika in general. And it just has me questioning, what are Kanye's motives? Why is he doing this? Has he just completely lost it? Is someone trying to push Kanye in the direction to do this? I don't know what's going on. I really am upset that Kanye is pushing this. Like I said, it's his First Amendment right to express his views and what he thinks, but most Americans and just most common sense people in general don't agree with him and find him to be utterly disgusting and just grotesque, and the things he says to be repulsive. I really disagree with everything Kanye is currently standing for. I do think that not only is it hurtful to certain American people, Jewish American people, Jewish people around the world, but it's just hurtful to the culture in America that we're trying to create right now. It's hurtful in the sense of we're so divided in this world, and we're trying to just find any way that we can connect with each other because we all disagree politically so much. And for Kanye to just throw more fire or throw more gas into the flame and try and stir the pot consistently, I don't think it helps his brand. I don't think it helps America. It probably brings more eyes to his name from a social media standpoint and like a Googling his name standpoint. I don't know if that relates to or converts to dollars, and that's why he's doing it. But you'd have to think that if that is why he's doing it, that there's a better way or more efficient. Or maybe it's just this is what he believes. He has gone off the rails and Kanye is just a lost cause. Whatever it is, I really hope we do get more information on what's causing Kanye to act like this or forcing him to act like this, or what did change in his mindset from him being who he was 5 years ago even. He was a completely different person. You could watch him on the Joe Rogan Experience for 3 hours where he doesn't sound like a completely sane individual, but not once is he talking about Jews taking over the world and controlling the weather and talking about swastikas and Hitler. So I really think that it's really negative, everything he's doing. His Twitter has recently got deleted because I don't know if his Twitter was hacked or if it was him, but he was tweeting about how he loved Hitler and all these terrible things. It's gone really downhill for him. It makes me sad to see as an American, to see someone whose music I used to listen to just go down such a dark path. I really hope that whatever is going on, more information comes to light for us and for the American people. That's all I have for you guys today. This was episode 21 of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. I'm signing off for the day, and I hope you all have a blessed day today. Thank you.